What's up, everybody? We are back and excited here, joined by the one, the only Ron Ortiz. Ron, buddy, so good to talk to you
I
via the internet once
know,
again.
bro. It's been too long. It's
It
been too
has.
long, and every week goes by, and I'm like, gosh, we got to do it again. We got to do it again. Life gets in the way. Family gets in the
Oh,
way.
yeah.
A lot of events happened in between the time that
Oh,
we've
gosh. Yeah.
done. So we have a lot of good stuff going on. So
Oh, yeah. Well, it is. I always kind of chuckle because obviously we don't make money off of this podcast or anything, and so it's like there are these
not
moments where
yet,
I'm like,
not yet, Kyle. We got to work
not
on
yet,
this.
not yet, not yet. There's these moments where I'm like, oh man, need to get a podcast out. And it's like, hey, wait a second. Like I have, okay, so I've got like 4 different jobs.
Yeah.
You've got a full-time job of being the most beautiful man on the face of the
No,
earth.
I don't know about that.
Along with this other thing that you have that, saving people's lives and fighting fires
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
getting cats down from trees.
Take some time out of my life. Yeah.
Well, yeah, absolutely. So that's what's always so humorous because I think you and I are kind of the epitome of masters when it comes to like the things that masters have to deal with, and we're not even
Oh
talking about
yeah.
training. We're talking about a podcast once a week.
Isn't that crazy? And then you incorporate the training part of it, and it's like
Mhm.
that's a life gets in the way, Kyle.
Oh yeah,
It
dude.
was, yeah, it's I always joke around with people. I've recently started playing a little bit of pickleball, and
Ooh,
I always joke around with my buddies. They're like, "Oh no, I got to do this, I got to do that." I get, bro, you got to set some priorities. This is like this is important stuff here.
dude.
So I
Okay,
get it. We're setting
you
priorities.
you talk about training. You want to know what I've been doing a lot of lately? Dude, I've been doing my strongman stuff again lately.
Oh, good.
Oh, dude, I love
Oh,
my strongman
dang.
stuff. I've
Oh,
done one competition before, and this was 2 or 3 years ago. I've done one competition, and it was a ton of fun. But I was so much in the middle of CrossFit stuff. I've backed off of the CrossFit stuff with kids, with jobs, with broadcasting and announcing,
sure.
and so like with the strongman stuff though, because with CrossFit, there's so many different things that you've got to
Oh, sure.
really
Yeah.
be proficient at. Well, with the strongman stuff, and not I'm not trying to like be like a national level or anything. You know what is I go and our gym has like they call it burn, so it's kind of like boot camp type stuff, but it's not a lot of barbells, a lot of kettlebells,
Yep.
dumbbells, a lot of cardio. But what I do is I'll usually take one implement that they're going to have. And so if they're, I don't know, like what were they doing the other day? They were doing like a farmer's carry, right? Well,
Mhm.
what I did is I supplemented it for a 150-pound sandbag. And so they were doing a farmer's carry with, kettlebells or whatever. And I mean, I could have done heavy kettlebells, but I picked up the 150-pound sandbag and did that walk in the middle of the rest of the workout. God, that was so much fun. I love
Yeah.
strongman.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Oh yeah. Of
That's
course,
cool. Yeah,
unfortunately, these 18-inch arms aren't exactly made for, and 18 inches long, not around, aren't exactly
Right.
made for strongman stuff.
Try and get a hold of something, hold it.
Yeah, it's
It's
like,
the so
oh
I've
yeah.
been doing a lot of I definitely do a lot of Invictus programming. That's what I
Mhm,
try to stick to. But there's a kid at our gym, and I'm going to mention his name because the other day they asked me, they're doing like a little thing video for the gym. What do you love so much about our gym? Blah blah blah.
mhm, mhm,
And I was talking about like all the fire breathers, and I mentioned my buddy Yannick, and I
mhm.
turned this way, and his name slipped my mind like I'm telling you, like I had lubricant in my hands, like slipped right out. I was like, "Duh," and everybody else that did. But so Wilson, it's a name Wilson.
Wilson,
He
you are a fire
actually,
breather, Wilson.
oh my god, he makes up these workouts, and you're like, bro. He goes, "Oh, this will be fun." I go, "You have a really messed up idea of what
That's
fun's going to
right.
be." But
That's right.
we did two little. I mean, the first one was I want to say it was an assault bike and something else, but it's just like I was about done after the
Mhm.
two things that he did that were supposed to be fun little warm ups, and I
Oh
was
yeah.
like, "Geez, wait."
Mm-mm.
But
I
yeah, so I'm fortunate. These guys at the gym, they're the only reason I really do. I love being there with them. I
oh
think
yeah.
they're the ones that kind of drag me back in. Yeah.
Well,
So,
that's what we talk. It's about the friends and the community. That's what we're
oh,
talking
for
about. Like
sure.
like the thing I'm most excited about MFC coming up is just seeing everyone. Now, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I'm excited for the competition and
Yeah.
everybody's roles and everything, but just to see everybody again. Oh my
I know.
gosh.
I
Oh yeah.
know. Listen, I was hyped, and we were kind of talking about briefly before. I was hyped getting to watch the Legends competition
Hmm.
because all the people that we've had at
Hmm.
MFC that were there,
Hmm. Oh
and
yeah.
all the ones that were there that are going to be at MFC.
Oh
And that
yeah.
was like to me was really exciting to see this. And I my lifelong dream has been to have just like one giant competition for masters, and that's why Jess and I really latched into Masters Fitness Championship. And what we love so much about it is giving a platform for all the ages.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the young guys, they got plenty of stages, but for us as Masters athletes, because again, like we were talking about, our life gets in the way. It's like we have all of these other things that we are required to do to sustain our life and our lifestyle. And in order to do something special for that group of people, I think that's what MFC is all about. So
Absolutely.
excited, really excited to be there, excited to see you. Excited to see, like,
I'm
I mean,
excited.
it's just,
I'm excited to hug you around that muscular belly button,
yeah,
man.
you
That's
love it,
where we
bro.
meet,
That's my
because you're up here and absolutely. It's funny, because when if you're watching on YouTube, like people don't really see this, how much bigger Ron is than I am. Ron's like a full foot taller than me. And so, that's the deal is, man, I come in for a hug and I'm hugging the belly button, buddy.
I get a buddy of mine at work that the joke is he and I are the two tallest Mexicans around. But Joel is a good couple inches taller than I am.
Oh man.
And he's a massive person, like big dude.
Mm-hmm.
And I was joking around. I gave him a big hug the other day, and he was like, "Man," he goes, "I don't get hugs like this from everybody." And I go, "I don't either." I said, "It's like that Kraft macaroni and cheese commercial where the guy's eating and he's hugging a bear. He's dreaming he's holding on to this bear." But
Oh
it was
man.
classic. I was like,
Oh yeah.
"Joel," I said, "This very rarely happens. This is pretty incredible." So,
Oh yeah.
but
Oh dude. Well,
yeah,
okay. So
I'm excited, bro. I really am excited to see everybody.
Oh yeah. Okay, so let's do this. Before we jump into that though, let's
Yeah.
walk back. So you talked about, you brought up, man, the Legends CrossFit Games champion. I mean, I've seen, okay, let me ask you this, Ron. Let me ask you
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of terminology. I'm trying to fit, because I know, okay, they had the Legends Classic that was the team events going on.
Yep.
Was it the Legends Masters CrossFit Championship, Legends CrossFit Games? I say,
I
because
don't
I call it the
know,
CrossFit Games. I'm
bro.
not trying to degrade it,
Yeah.
because the deal is
No,
championship is championship,
no.
so I'm not trying to degrade it. And so, but like I kept trying to figure out what the terminology was, and admittedly, that's on me. I'm like, I hope people don't hear this and like think that I'm making fun of it. I'm making fun of myself.
Right.
That I see it and I just couldn't grasp it, but.
Yeah, I kept it, well, and this is the other thing. If you want to, I'm not, again, being critical. I'm not by any means, but to find it on YouTube was almost impossible. Like
Yeah.
when I tried to do it multiple times, I kept. Jess even sat in front of the TV and tried like 4 different things. She goes, "I don't know where it's at." So I had to literally go on and push in Google search so I could actually find it and then look at the heading on it, because it was just really weird how how he could find it.
Well, I think,
But
that was the deal, yeah, because because I honestly expected it to be on the CrossFit channel. So that
right,
one, that
that's
was
what
the
I thought
first
too.
thing, which
Yeah,
I don't know. It shouldn't. I'm not trying to critique. Never mind. And this is not a critique against Legends. This is a critiquing it. Like I thought it should have been on the CrossFit channel. Like if we're
right.
if we're trying to create this platform anyway, like we're not super negative like that. So I'm not trying to go that direction. But
Yep.
but so I figured, so that very first day. So the very first day I tried to turn it on, and I turned on YouTube and it wasn't going, but like it was showing stuff was going on. And so I figured out, if you went on to, because I couldn't find like the second stream. They had 2 cameras. I couldn't find the second stream. And so I went to their website and went through, and it watched the stream and it took me to the second stream. I was like, okay, great. And so then I looked I'm looking on Instagram, and oh man, there's the Instagram post. There's a billion comments about they can't find it, what's going on. And so I try to stay out of the comment section, but I commented. I was like, hey, if you go to the website and click on this.
It was, one of the things that was sad too, and this is for me, again, being one of the more power athletes rather than quickness and agility, was I don't think the snatch ladder was televised, because I couldn't find it anywhere.
Oh man.
I looked over and over and over, and it was like, I talked to a couple people that were there, my buddy Dex, my buddy Sean, but Duke was also there, my coach, and I was able to get a hold of him and go, hey, what happened? What kind of get the heads up of what was going on, and I could go back in, because again, for the life of me, I'm always going to be a huge fan of the Masters.
Oh yeah.
I don't care what competition it is, what it is. I'm in there kind of like poking around, seeing who's doing what, how people are doing. And it was really, I mean, it was awesome to get to watch. I got to watch my teammate for MFC. Lon was out there, Lon Allen.
Well, Lon Allen, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm super excited. And it's funny because we were talking the other day. We were kind of texting back and forth. And he goes, oh, "Man, this is going to be a dream." And I go, "Bro, it's going to be a dream for me to be able to compete with him the first year at Legends. I mean, at Legends at MFC." Do you remember Lon and I were like side to side the whole competition long? We were going back and forth. He'd win one.
Oh
I
yeah.
won one. He'd win one. I won. He won the snatch ladder, or the snatch. Remember, after the run, we had to do a mile run and then the snatch. And he beat me by like 5 pounds or something like that. And his very last like snatch and put it. I was like, ugh. But yeah,
Oh yeah,
I'm
that was a
super
good one.
excited to be a part of it.
Oh gosh, yes,
Super
man.
excited.
Gosh, yes. Well, and so it was fun. Let me say this: it was fun to with the games, seeing the turnout. That was that's always fun.
Yes.
One, we get to see all the people, but see the number of people that were there, the people that were competing.
Yes.
It's just it just kind of shows why the community is the community, and why it's so awesome, and why these events are always so great.
Yeah. It was really good. And hey, listen, kudos to Jason Grubb for that number 5. He's definitely a force to be reckoned with. That guy's amazing athlete.
Oh yeah.
Really amazing athlete.
Oh yeah.
Did he move to Alabama too?
Yeah, he lives in Alabama. Yeah, absolutely. We
So,
need to, that's the deal, is we just, where we want the Masters games next, we just tell him to move somewhere else. Apparently they just follow him.
Listen, I'm thinking they ought to think about like Tampa.
Oh yeah.
Tampa, or even like Jacksonville. A couple of these places down here are like really awesome areas to have.
Yeah.
The only thing with Florida, and this is we kind of got back and forth when they were trying to figure out what to do with CrossFit Games, and all of us were dreaming. It's just like, but it's really difficult because we definitely have the heat. Definitely have the heat. Not as extreme, I think, as it is in Texas, but because it's definitely it's a different heat.
It's a different kind of heat.
Different heat, but it's it's the afternoon showers, and it's like clockwork.
Oh yeah.
If you were done with everything by a certain time, you'd be good to go.
Yeah.
But inevitably things change. This happens. You get a shower earlier in the day, whatever it is. It is like the chances of there being rain are the chances that are being sun in Arizona. So it's like really high chance of rain.
Oh, yeah.
But we would love to have it down this way, man.
Okay, so you talk about a different kind of heat. Let me tell you this much, dude. Here's what I have learned over the last several months is on the list of things that will get people more angry than anything. Number 1 is politics. Number 2 is claiming that your area is hotter in some way, shape, or form than theirs. I mean, dude, whatever you do not talk about how hot it is wherever you live, because the first response is always, "Oh, well, it's hot here too," or "Oh, it's oh, absolutely, absolutely." Don't talk about how hot it is. So,
listen, I was born and raised in Tucson, and I remember, and I'm telling you right now, it getting so hot. We would, if you walked on the street, like if you're standing on the edge of the street and you walked across the street, guaranteed you were to have tar on your foot.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Because it would actually bleed up a little bit on the tar. We would get temperatures 110, 115, 120 degrees. And it's like, that's the kind of hot that you just got to be in the shade with like a hose on you. It's crazy. And then I remember also airplanes not being able to take off, like the airports and stuff like that. It would get so hot. There's so much heat that there's no lift for the airplanes.
Oh my
and they
gosh.
can't live at like 100. I think it's like 120 or 125 degrees. They can't take off.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really hot.
Absolutely nuts. That's
I've never encountered that.
That's oven hot. You like open the oven and it hits you in the face. Walk out the door.
Oh, good Lord. That's miserable.
No, listen, I'm super excited. Like I said, I'm super excited to see all the people that went to Legends CrossFit Champion to the CrossFit Games for Masters and have them come to our event. And get to experience. We're super. I mean, I am so hyped. I know we can announce everybody that are sponsors, but I have been a Virus fan since day one. When their stuff started coming out, I would buy. I mean, every chance I got, even though I was like a Reebok athlete, and this had
Mhm.
I had a slew of Virus stuff because I just love their stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But having them come on board with to do our uniforms, have rad shoes come on board. I mean, that's that I have all my buddies like, oh bro, can you get me a pair when you're there? I'm like, it's not like I'm you're not they're not just coming up and handing out shoes to people, bro. These things cost money.
That's right.
So and then to
Oh, yeah.
have again Chili Goat be there and Invictus again, Karen
Oh,
being
yeah.
there. I mean, setting up their recovery area. Yeah, I'm just super, super, super excited for the people we have
Oh, yeah.
coming. Everybody that's there, and I'm kind of like a firm believer in God puts who he wants where he wants them, and I
Mhm.
really believe it's going to be. We're going to have an amazing event.
Mhm.
We have amazing judges, amazing staff, you included. I'm super excited to have you announce and talk and so, I mean, we're just super excited to
Oh,
have
yeah.
everything come down.
Well, okay, and so here's the deal. I mean, we talk about, super excited and everything coming up. So I hope everyone who is listening now, depending on what day you're listening, we are recording this on Thursday, September the 5th. Depending on when you listen, all right, we are exactly 3 weeks out from
Oof,
check-in. So that means
got to
three
get
weeks from
working out.
today, 3 weeks, that's right, 3 weeks from today, if you are going to MFC and you are competing, you will all be in Fort Wayne checking in. And let me tell you, that is okay. So you just mentioned a whole bunch of reasons why it's awesome. So
Yeah.
one, I mean, obviously just being together and being there. But here's the deal. I mean, think about this. Like when they show up, I mean, they're going to get their special virus clothes, their uniforms, their
Yep.
shorts. They're going to get
Yep.
their rad shoes. I mean, this is all part of the athlete package.
Yeah.
Not to mention. Okay, and here's the deal. I got to say this because this is cool. Have you had a chance to look through the store that Virus put together for
Yes.
MFC?
Yes.
Dude, that is okay.
Yeah.
Listen, I was in there. I looked up at my cart at one point, and it there. I just saw a 6 as the first number, and I was like, I can't do that. Like I can't. Like I was like clicking on everything. Like that's awesome. That's awesome.
I
Like they.
know.
So,
I
so for those of
know.
you that don't know what we're talking about, Virus put together a special MFC store, so anybody can get it. Anybody. It doesn't have to be an athlete.
Yep.
Anybody can go on there and purchase, and they'll ship it to you. And it's like MFC branded nice Virus stuff. Like you can't
Yeah.
get that anywhere else. And
Yeah.
so, like, that's so awesome. And so, I would say, make sure you go on there. I'll put the link on Instagram a
I'm
couple
telling
more
you,
times.
you're right because 3 weeks that's cutting it close. I think even like 2 weeks out, you may not get it. I don't
Oh
know.
yeah,
So definitely do it now if you're thinking about like extra sweats,
oh yeah. Oh man,
hoodies, anything like that.
oh man,
Because
they
hey,
got
we
they got the
we both
joggers.
know
Oh,
how many years has it been cold as heck. You get there and you're like going, "Holy crud, this is like cold out here."
oh, well, okay. Now, hang on, there, Florida
I
boy.
know,
Hang
I
on,
know. I'm
Florida boy.
from Florida. Though.
Listen, when you get there, and wait, keep in mind, I'm from the middle of Texas. Okay, so here's the deal. But when you get there, okay, in the early morning and the late night, yes, it is cold. You need something on. But dude, like during the day, it's like 72. Like I
Oh
want
yeah,
now, obviously, I'll be inside of broadcasting, which I love, but I want nothing more than to be outside when I go up there because I'm like, dude, this is it just depends on what part of the day you're talking about.
yep, yep.
So
Oh, and
if
let's see how the weather is because I'm telling you, bro. I remember the one year. Did it snow?
No, unless that was the year I wasn't there. There was one year I wasn't there. Maybe it snowed that year.
It
I don't know.
was cold. I mean, it was
Yeah,
like cold, cold. But then in the day, like you said, it kind of warmed up. It was like moderate cold weather, but it was like
yeah.
it was. Yeah, I remember. I seem to remember when year it snowed, but
Oh
yeah,
man.
it's. I'm listen. I'm excited, and I'm going to do that. I've looked on it.
Mhm.
I have a very short leash with that kind of stuff because I can tend to like my whole closet would end up being, MFC stuff,
Oh
and
yeah.
I need to like, back down from that a little bit. But
Oh yeah.
I am super. I
Oh
can't
yeah.
even tell you. I know I've said it before, but it's just like the excitement
Oh
to
yeah.
build up, having just be kind of the ring master and getting stuff going and talking and getting people here and there. And it's just like, it'll
Speaking
be,
of Jess,
yeah.
speaking of Jess, God bless her because Jess has to deal with me all the time. I
Oh
mean, could
no,
you
she's,
imagine that? I mean,
bro,
like she's the one who has
there's
to rein me in.
no, she is, Kyle, you are a blessing. And I can't tell you, she says continuously, like, what a
Wow.
blessing to have somebody like you doing what you're doing for us is like, it really is. It makes her life so much easier. It really does. So thank you.
Stop. You're gonna make my beard blush. So okay, now here's the all right, and here's another thing I'm really excited about. I haven't done a good enough job of talking about this enough. So here's dude, Chili Goat's bringing what? 4 cold
Yes.
cuts?
Well, they have 4, and then they're bringing the combination one.
Oh yeah, they're bringing so technically okay, now I know that they can't fill up the hot tub though, right? Because like they can't clean it fast enough.
Yeah,
So
that's the whole thing with the cold plunges are so much easier. So,
yeah.
you can keep your levels really good. Chili Goat, let me, and I'm going to share with you a real quick story in case we're talking about this. The other morning, we ended up having our electricity go off.
Mhm.
I have a generator, so we don't really know when it happened. So it clicked on, everything was good, but it pops the Chili Goat and it'll, as a safety, shut off on mine. I go out probably, I think I was at work the next day. The next morning, I come back. I'm getting ready to go into the cold plunge to go to the gym, and the cold plunge is 105 degrees. Well, and it's funny because
The not so
Ben, the
cold
guy from
plunge.
Chili Go, told me, he goes, "Hey, these things are capable of acting as like a jacuzzi as well. It has the ability to heat up to whatever temperature you set it at
Mhm.
within, like, I think 110 degrees,
Uh-huh.
all the way down to, like, freezing, obviously, but it's as a safety because if you live in a cold environment, to keep it from freezing, you set
Mhm.
it and it will constantly heat and cool
Mhm.
as it needs to keep
Oh
it at
wow.
that temperature.
Yeah.
Well, again, I got in, but I didn't get in. Opened it up, and I was like, this waft of heat hit me in the face. I was like, this isn't a cold plunge right now. I set the temperature to where it needed to be. I had to turn it back
Mhm.
on, do that, and this, that, and the other. Went to work out, blah, blah, blah. 8 hours later, I come home. I'm like, let me just see where it's at. I lift
Mhm.
it up. It's at 43 degrees.
Oh, nice.
It's crazy. And
Well,
any other cold ones, I'm telling you, any of the other ones takes, I think it's a half a degree an
mhm.
hour or something like
Mhm.
that it takes to cool it. This thing was well over that. I mean,
Oh yeah.
yeah, it's just like industrial strength. So,
Oh yeah.
it,
So that
but
okay, so Chili Goat is they're the title sponsor of
yes,
MFC. So it's Masters Fitness Championship presented by Chili Goat. So Chili's going to be they're going to have a huge setup. They're going to have
yes,
5 cold tubs.
yep,
And so it's not just the cold tubs. And so you go hop in, get out, whatever. Not just cold tubs, but we also have the
sauna,
Normatec boots.
yep,
So they're all going to be there. So anybody who's been there before, there's this almost humorous line of those chairs, like those ones that you sit in and they lean back, like
yeah.
that you get with the Normatex, like those, and there's just Normatex all the way down. It's the most awesome area, like
It
athlete
really
recover
is.
area. It's incredible.
And again, we have to, Karen Martin
Oh yeah,
and Pop Martin, they do it right. They really
yeah,
do. They have, but not only that, I think they have like the Venom pack for your back. If you get a
uh-huh.
sore back, they have everything. They have
Well,
everything.
and
All the
what's
high
really cool.
price stuff.
Oh yeah, when you talk about Karen and Pop, so it's really cool too because anybody who's ever dealt with them before realizes you're not really dealing with someone who's running a station as much as you're dealing with your mother who's just trying to make sure that you feel good and are recovered. Like literally,
I'm
that's what
telling you,
it's like talking to
it's
your mom and your dad or
yeah,
your grandma and your grandpa,
yes,
and they're just like,
yeah,
"Are you okay? Do you need
yeah,
this? Do you need that? Here, just relax. No, you got play. Oh,
yeah.
it's awesome. Yeah.
They're amazing people. They're such an incredible, part and an integral part of. They drive in a van
Yeah.
from California
Oh yeah.
to Indiana every year to do this, and it's. I mean, again, I can't say all the good that
Oh,
that I mean, and she calls, and obviously her and Jess have to speak regular. and it's just always a joy to hear them. And she's just, I
Oh yeah.
just
Look,
love those people.
anybody, that's the deal. Anybody who knows Karen is like she's like one of their favorite people of all time.
Oh yeah,
That's just she's one of those people. So,
yes,
oh
I
yeah.
agree. I
Oh yeah,
agree. We
man.
have listen. We have an amazing team, and it's
Oh, that's
just
awesome.
it's kind of cool because by the time we get there, things are already going to be moving because of the way things are set, and it's um it's kind of awesome to watch things come together and a plan happen. And again, especially when my lovely wife has been the one that has stressed about everything all year long. From I'm telling you, from last year at the end to the day the competition happens, it won't stress won't be done until it's everything's returned back to rogue, you
Oh yeah.
know?
Oh yeah.
So yeah,
No.
we're listen, I'm super excited to watch a lot of the events too, because as a team, we'll have the opportunity to do that, and then to be there with the other masters athletes. And I just hope that we just continue to grow, and
Oh yeah.
become
Oh yeah.
the premier masters event, and yeah,
Well, so
good things.
speaking of watching events, Ron, can you
Yes.
guess what my favorite, most exciting part of MFC 2024 is this year?
Oh, was that?
How about the full broadcast returning? I know that
Oh
I've already
man,
celebrated on this podcast once, and yet I'm going to continue to celebrate about the full broadcast.
that's
So
awesome.
because people are asking too on all the posts, they're all asking. So we are having a full broadcast.
Good.
They are nice enough or dumb enough, I'm not sure which one, to let me do this again. So excited for that.
That's awesome.
I don't know if y'all know me. Like those of you that have listened to me on this or that know me know how much I enjoy talking about Masters Fitness and calling Masters Fitness.
Yeah.
Because one, here's the deal. One, I just love being a hype man. So the half the time, because here's the deal, half the time, what you're going to find on these broadcasts is it's almost like you put a microphone in front of a fan. So I don't do the like I'm trying to give you the full picture and I'm trying to be professional, but I'm also really really rooting for everyone that's going on the floor. And
Yeah.
so like you're not going to get necessarily the emotionless a conversation going on. Like and that's not so please understand. Okay, I always feel like I have to say this on a podcast because everybody wants to clip everything out. None of that is like a shot at anybody. This is just
Yeah.
I'm like I am the definition of overly dramatic, and that's what you're going to get on the podcast or
That's
on the
what
excuse
we
me, on the
listen.
broadcast.
The moment I knew that, Kyle, is when at the games when we were there together, and
Mhm.
that's when you had the camera from outer space,
Yeah, yeah.
and Kyle had his phone out, and he was actually commenting at the same time he was streaming it off of his phone. And I was like, this guy, he loves us masters.
Oh, dude, it's awesome,
So
man. It's awesome.
yeah,
Well, I'm just,
I want to thank you for that excitement too, because
I appreciate it.
listen, it's like for me, it's like hearing Dylan or
Mhm.
Bella or those guys announce too. So it's just
Oh
like
yeah.
it really is a blessing.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh, and
yeah,
speaking of the wonderful Bella, so
yeah,
not only is Bella going to be back as an MC this year, but I don't know if you guys know. So I was going to celebrate this after the games, but we just Ron and I kind of felt it was best. We were going to let everybody who decided they want to be a pundit about post games with everything that happened. We decided it was best if we just kind of took a breath and let everybody breathe. And so I didn't get a chance to do this, but hey, buddy, how about the one and the only Bella Martin down there at the games?
I
Boy, I
know.
was okay. So here's the deal: she's a 20-something-year-old young lady, and so you and I get to be like the kind of the fatherly, like proud of Bella. Like, how proud of you when you saw Bella at the game?
Yeah,
I was
she's
so proud of her.
listen, she's amazing, and
Oh yeah.
she is like again, I view her a lot like I view you. Is that the excitement that she has is real,
Mhm,
like
mhm.
real. She
Yeah.
loves doing what she's doing, and you know, as an athlete, you hear that, and it really does. I'm not paying attention to too much of anything when I'm out there competing, but when you
Yeah.
have somebody like that, that's that's hyping things up and doing what she does. It's
Oh,
just
yeah.
it's a real blessing. So yeah.
Well, and she's gonna hop on it, and she's gonna do a lot of what she did with the games with us this year. So
Yes.
she's doing a lot more with the broadcasting, and so she'll still be on the floor. She still loves that, but she's
Yeah.
also gonna be with us. She's gonna be doing some athlete interviews. She's gonna be doing some
Yep.
intros. It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
excited
I'm
for that.
excited. I
Oh yeah.
really am.
So
We have
here's a for everybody listening, here's a breakdown kind of how it's going to work. So what we're going to do, we want to do the best job that we can of doing things well. And so we're going to have two cameras that are both streaming at the same time. We're going to have two floors. For anybody who's been MFC, you know, we have two floors. We have the rig floor, we have the non-rig floor. The non-rig floor this year is going to have a camera pointing right at it. You're going to be able to see it, and you're going to be able to watch it. But we're not going to have a broadcast with that, because the first year that we did the broadcast, I was standing in a balcony with a microphone and a really long cord, running back and forth, trying to cover as much as I could. And we
yeah.
realized, while that was a lot of fun and people enjoyed it, I think we wanted to make sure that we don't miss people and we give people their due when they're on the floor. So we're
Yeah.
going to have the camera facing the non-rig floor. You're going to have that. It's going to be awesome. You're going to have a great view. And then you're going to have the camera facing the rig floor. That's where you're going to have your interviews done. That's where you're going to have the broad, or excuse me, the commentary during the broadcast.
Yep.
You know, because I think that's the thing is when we look at this, and I think it's the critique of that year that the games had the camera, you know, back
Yes.
somewhere
Yes.
in you know, Michigan, I think it was.
Jupiter. Yeah.
Yeah, and so it's just that, you know, if we're gonna do it, we want to do what we're doing well. And that first year that we did the broadcast, we learned some things, and so we're gonna do it really well. We're gonna bring on. I'm excited. So speaking of doing it well, I'm excited. So Ron, buddy, you're doing the
Huh?
teams this year. Are you
Yeah.
gonna come on? Are you gonna join me at times?
Oh, heck yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
I will.
buddy.
You know, it's funny because the year that you allowed me to come up there before, I
Wow.
love doing it, but I found myself, I was like, I'm not really making much sense. You know, I'm terrible with names. Kyle, I know your name because I know you. People I've known for years, I'll be like, "Hey, what's up, man?" Believe me, it's just like I know you, but
Yeah.
I don't know your name.
Oh
I may
yeah.
have forgotten it somewhere. It's in there somewhere. Just getting it out is
Well,
hard part.
dude, you've met about half of the people on the earth. So, you know, I
Yeah.
mean, you've got about, what is that, 3.5 billion names to remember. So
Yeah, man.
that happens.
I love. I have to tell you, it- genuinely love everybody I've met.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you meet them, and there's always special memories and moments and things that happen in there, and it's
Mhm.
just like I've been really, again, you've heard me say it, and I feel trite saying it, but it's just like I've been really blessed to meet a lot of like amazing people, a lot of amazing people. So,
Oh, absolutely.
yeah, man, it's definitely good stuff.
Yeah, man. That it's fantastic. So super excited about the broadcast and some of the things that we're going to be doing this year with that. Because we also want to make sure that we're, you know, I mean, dude, sponsors make this things go. I mean, because this is, you think about, I mean, what virus and chili
Yeah,
goat, and I guess chili goat being the title sponsor is probably saying first, what chili goat and
yeah,
virus and
and
rad,
rad.
what they're throwing into it to make these events happen. Because
Yeah,
that's another thing. Here's what I'm excited about too. You know, obviously we build this year and next year. You know, I know that this year, you know, the Legends guys kind of got thrown into a pickle with timing, and so you know the two events come really close together.
yeah,
I'm excited for maybe next year, because you know how this goes. You get into
yeah,
competition season, and the excitement kind of builds. And so
yeah,
hopefully, you know, I think I've heard that they're trying, and here, this is not from anything official. When I say I think I've heard, like
yeah,
this is
yeah.
probably like I probably shouldn't even say I think I've heard, but
Right.
I hope that that's gonna be a little bit sooner. And so what it does is then we kind of have like the two bookends of the summer. So you have like the beginning of the summer with the games, and
Yeah,
then you have kind of the end of the summer, kind of this end of September type. I guess here in Texas, September is still summer, so I'm gonna say that. But you know,
yeah,
kind of end of summer, and so because you know we've even seen it. We were just talking about it before the podcast that there's been an excitement. We're getting a lot more text messages and phone calls about MFC
oh
with
yeah,
Legends being over. And I think it is because you get into that competition mode, and dude, you've been
yep,
there, you get that competition high and you're like, I want that
yeah,
again.
yeah,
All right.
yeah. I think there was, you know, that was one of our concerns, and you know, we can talk about this as freely as possible too. But you know, with um, the Masters CrossFit event that just took place, being so close to us, we were very nervous of what kind of turnout we were getting. We had like very close to the same turnout we had last year.
Mhm, mhm.
Um, and again, which really leads into the fact that there's a lot of people that are still not able to maybe go into the games or be at the games that really have a desire to compete as masters athletes. And that's where I've been really happy to be able to be. We've been very happy to be able to be that point where those people can set their feet out there and
Yeah.
show their wares and see how much they improve and everything like that. But it would be nice if they moved that event a little further out, like into the summer, and that way you have a layer of three rather than three so quickly in a row.
Oh yeah.
Um, we're affected by everything, by the games, because there's
Mhm.
masters athletes that have wanted to go to the games. They get stuck. Do we go to the games now, or do we go to
Mhm.
MFC, or do we go to the Legends Masters Championship CrossFit thing,
Mhm.
or do we go to Legends at the end of the year? But now it's like
Mhm.
that spacing is going to allow. The only thing that is the outlier right now is Wadapalooza on the West Coast, and
Yeah,
that's going to
absolutely.
be a really interesting.
Mhm.
I'm excited to see how that goes.
Mhm.
The venue looks amazing.
Oh, it looks
It looks
great.
really
Yeah.
cool. Apparently, there's not going to be any swimming,
Yeah.
and they're right on the water, which is a shame.
Yeah.
But I think they're going to have a long run, from what I understand. So,
Yeah. Absolutely. So,
but
yeah, no, it'll be, and I think it is. It's just this. I mean, I don't think you and I didn't beat this horse to death. I think you and I have tried to be very, very methodic in
yeah,
when we're talking about things and how often we're talking about things. But it
yeah,
just this year has been a very new world for CrossFit
sure,
because of CrossFit's decision to kind of split everything.
yeah,
And so and that's kind of the way it works.
yeah,
But honestly, I'll tell you this much: what is a cool thing though is to see the way that there was some difficulty and there was turmoil and everything, but to see the way that everything is turning out so well and the
yeah.
way that things are moving forward, it's all about resiliency. And
Oh
I
yeah,
think
it
that's the
is.
ththat initially there's always an initial shock and enough
Yeah,
initial surprise, but dude, the resiliency has been awesome. And the community, and we talk about this, and that's kind of one of the big focuses of MFC is the community is amazing.
it is. It
You know?
is. It is. And I have to tell you, because I'm very biased to the fact that I love the younger athletes. Um, and I'm like thinking back. Just the other day, I saw memories that popped up on my phone, pictures that I had from some of the events I was able to do. Again, was when I was a Reebok athlete, or even hanging out with Chris Hinshaw and being at Rich's. And these memories will pop up on my phone, and it's like, man, this has been a really cool thing to be a part of. But it brings me back to the Masters community, and every year I always remember how grateful these Masters athletes are. They're the ones that would be thanking every single judge, every
Mhm,
single, and I don't care if you were complaining or moaning and groaning at the person when you get done. These people, whether it be we've lived life a little longer, but we're going up and thanking him,
mhm, mhm,
thanking everybody along the way for whatever it is you got or whatever
mhm,
they helped you with. And then amongst each other, how that camaraderie and the time together is really precious. And you see people seeing each other again for since it's been a very long time, and it's hugs and hey, how are you doing? How's the family? Whatever it is, and that's like among the ages. It
mhm,
really
mhm.
is. It's among the ages. So it's it's kind of cool. It's again our group as masters athletes has always been like kind of you'll talk to certain judges and stuff and they're like it's our favorite group to deal with.
Mhm,
And it's just the young guys have a lot more on the line. There's a lot that they're worried about because that's their livelihood. That's what they're doing for every part of what they do and what they're doing for their families and whatever it is. And for us, it's like, it's not that it doesn't make a difference to take home a few bucks, but we're not making the same amount of money. So I think it affects us differently.
yeah.
And yeah,
Oh, yeah,
but
man.
I'm excited, bro. I'm excited
Oh,
to see
gosh.
you,
So excited. Oh,
excited
yeah.
to see the crew,
Oh, man.
and excited to see how this whole thing, you know,
Oh,
ends up
yeah.
going. So
Okay. Do you know who else you get to see starting on Friday afternoon. Yeah, I guess
Who else?
and I say see, I mean, you're going to see, but you also get to meet. My wife and my daughter are coming up on Friday.
Oh,
So
they're coming.
you're gonna get a good dose of
Nice.
Tiffany and Abby. They're gonna be there Friday. They're gonna show up Friday afternoon. They'll be there Saturday and Sunday. And
Oh,
then we all fly
very
back
good.
together. So,
Oh,
oh,
that's
dude.
awesome.
Yep. So,
Very cool that you're
and
getting
here's
them
the deal.
out there.
Everybody who meets my daughter is gonna realize that she got my love of talking. So, she'll
Have
probably, hey,
her out there with you.
dude, and she might. Here's the deal. She loves doing all kinds of fitness things, especially strongman stuff. She loves doing strongman with me, and so, oh man, you're probably going to see her out there at some point doing who knows what. But that'll be a ton of fun. So
That's awesome.
okay,
I would look forward to having
oh yeah,
everybody together again.
oh it'll be great. Okay, so before we wrap, I have two reminders. I say reminders. One is an announcement. One's a reminder. So if you heard this and you're like, dude, Virus is making special MFC gear, whether you used to be a competitor, whether you're a competitor, whether you're not a competitor, that is available to literally everyone. They will make it, they will send it to you.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you want to have it when you're there, you probably need to get on that pretty quick. But you don't have to have it when you're there. If you're an athlete, your uniform will be at MFC for you. This has nothing to do with your uniform. This is for anybody who's like, hey, dude, some MFC joggers would be awesome. Get on it. So I will put that into Instagram on the stories. You just click on the stories and it'll send you right there. And if you're on Facebook, you can do the same thing because it'll post to both. Here's the other one.
Sure.
If you are an athlete and you want to have some awesome videos, pictures, all that good stuff this year, go through your athlete packet. Okay, so this is just for athletes, obviously. Go through your athlete packet and sign up for your media packages. All right. Hercules Media is doing it this year. They do great work. And so you don't want to miss what they have for you. Like if you're kind of like, maybe not, like seriously, like these are the shots that you know how you always gripe because you're like, dude, I never have any good pictures to put on Instagram. These are going to be good pictures for you.
Oh yes. And
yes.
they're amazing. They really are. They're going to do like again, the package is it video as well, or is it only just photos?
You know what, I say that without knowing. I know they've done it's probably just the photos. So
okay.
You put me, darn it, Ron, you put me on the spot.
Listen, and I should know this stuff. There should be a list right here that the boss has given me to protocols, the things that are okay to talk about, like they do with Kamala Harris. But
oh my gosh.
But yeah, no, I should have the list here. I don't know, but I know that they're going to be there, and I know they do phenomenal stuff. And the packages are really very inexpensive for what you're going to be getting. I mean, you'll have tons of photos to choose from. It's amazing. You almost get like a whole stick of photos yourself. So
yeah, it's gonna be awesome because you'll have the stuff that your friends and family are there taking. You'll have the screenshots of the when you're doing the workouts and somebody's watching back at home. They're going to be taking screenshots and sending them to you, and then you're going to be able to give them the firsthand high quality pictures. So make sure you do that. But Ron, okay, ready, Ron? 3 weeks out. 3 weeks out. You got 21 days until you check in. All right. Are you? I was going to ask you, how physically ready are you? I mean, could you throw down right now today, or are we going to have Ron? Or excuse me, are we going to have Lon just pick you up and carry you through the whole event?
Lon's going to be carrying a lot of weight. He's going to be carrying about 230 pounds around. No. I have an extra back brace for him. I'll let him wear it because he'll be having to carry around pretty good. No, but I've been honestly, it's like, and I've had months to prepare, but other things have gotten in the way, yada yada yada. But I'm now trying to like finite and refine those things down, and at least get in a little bit of cardio shape, so I'm not going to be a complete schlub.
Amazing. Okay, well here, ready? See, here's the deal. So I'm not competing. Here's how I've been getting ready. So all of these food posts so Jess sends them to me and is like, hey, can we? And so then I repost them onto the MFC Instagram. Okay.
Yeah.
All these food posts, I keep writing them down because people are going to see a steady stream of Grubhub walking up to the second level. Because I'm like, this is amazing. So what I've been doing is like Joey Chestnut. I've been expanding the stomach to get ready for all the eating and talking that I'm going to be doing all weekend long. You know,
that's awesome.
Because you'd be amazed at how many calories talking for like 8 hours straight will burn. That's what
Oh,
that's
heck
that's
yeah.
one of the lessons I learned from 2 years ago was I gotta eat way more because I was exhausted at the end of those
Yeah.
days. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. And it doesn't matter the amount of caffeine you're taking, and you gotta have, like, calories to sustain it, so
That's
for
right. Oh,
sure.
yeah, we gotta figure out who's providing coffee and see if they can just give me a mainline stream all the way up to that 2nd deck for me, so
Listen, I'm gonna throw this out there, but we were pressuring Dan Bailey to be there,
yeah.
and he can't. Obviously, he just had kids.
Mhm, mhm.
But I'm a huge fan of his coffee. I ordered online. I mean, it's just like he's just having him there too. He's just such a dear friend, you know.
Mhm.
So, but I hope we will have somebody good.
Oh,
Listen.
I'm
Maybe you'll
I
have Ortiz Coffee Shop set up there because I mean,
Oh.
I think it's necessary to have that there. We need to find somebody last minute. Just go bring your cart and set up
Well,
because
I'm wondering. I'm trying to remember who's going to be there. We'll have to announce when we get that. We'll have to announce who's going to be there because when here's the other deal because you know how it goes too. When it comes to to coffee, oh,
yeah.
CrossFitters go nuts.
I know. Cold brew, bro. If you had nitro cold brew, you could make a small fortune. Literally. I'm tempted to
Oh.
maybe go somewhere and get a keg from somebody and go, hey, can I buy a keg of nitro cold brew and just set it up and
You're just
sell
walking
it?
around with a keg of cold brew, just
Yeah.
tapping it
On
out whenever
wheels.
somebody comes up to you.
It'll have casters on the bottom, like, like
Oh my gosh. All right, everybody.
uh,
We always have to stop us because this is what will happen is
I
we'll just
know.
keep going and going and going. So hey, 3 weeks out, really excited. Remember, athletes, get your athlete photo packages. Everybody else, hey, go to our Instagram, go to our Facebook, and click on that link for your virus apparel. It is awesome.
Yes,
And
it's
then
amazing.
other than that, hey, do me a favor. Like, do you have any questions for me and Ron? So I'm gonna post our clips. If you got questions for me and Ron, pop them underneath. Ask the
Yep.
comments, and what we'll do is we'll answer your comments next time, or answer your questions, and kind of have some fun with that. I think, huh?
Yeah, for sure. Hey, do me a favor too.
Yo.
If you're going to be posting some stuff, if you post something about the virus thing,
Mhm.
let me know. I'll grab it and I'm going to repost it because I think
Got it.
that's like really important. There's a lot. I mean, inevitably, there's people who are going to want more stuff for family
Oh
with their
yeah.
name on it. Whatever. Are we going to have the same people there doing the embroidery? Not the embroidery, but the silk screen stuff like we had before.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So they'll be able to put your name on a shirt for a family member or
That's right.
whatever it is that you want. So I think there's a really good opportunity to make sure that you get a lot of presents for everybody. So
Oh, absolutely. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. We love doing this. So glad to
yeah,
actually be back and be doing this again. So,
yeah,
Ron, dude, have a good day. Dude, good luck training, getting ready.
yeah.
You're going
Thank
to
you,
hit all
buddy.
the fitness in 3 weeks, buddy.
Yep, trying. We're gonna try. It's a listen. I've been pickleballing a lot, so we should be in pretty good shape.
We're ready to go. All right, everybody.
Yeah.
Hey, have a great one. We'll talk to you next Thursday.
All right, love you, buddy.